The vast, sun-scorched deserts of our world are landscapes of stark beauty and immense challenge. Here, life clings on with remarkable tenacity, adapting in extraordinary ways to survive the extreme heat and scarcity of water. Among these masters of endurance, one creature stands tall, an icon of resilience and a true king of these arid realms, the camel. For millennia, these magnificent animals have roamed the sandy dunes and rocky plains, their silhouettes a familiar and reassuring sight against the shimmering horizon. They embody the very spirit of survival, a testament to nature's ingenuity in crafting life for even the most inhospitable corners of our planet. Their story is one of adaptation, of partnership with humans, and of an enduring legacy etched into the sands of time. Observing a camel, one is immediately struck by its unique form, a design perfected over countless generations. Its long legs carry it with a slow, deliberate gait across the shifting sands, conserving precious energy. Its gentle eyes, fringed with long lashes, seem to gaze out with ancient wisdom upon the vast emptiness. These creatures are far more than mere beasts of burden. They are living wonders, each feature a carefully honed tool for life in an environment where others would quickly perish. Their ability to withstand long periods without water, to find sustenance where little seems to exist, and to navigate the treacherous terrain makes them truly exceptional. Join us as we journey into the world of these incredible animals, exploring the secrets behind their remarkable success. The camel's presence has shaped human history in these desert regions profoundly. For nomadic peoples, they were and often still are indispensable companions, providing transport, food, and materials essential for life. They enabled trade routes to flourish across otherwise impassable territories, connecting distant cultures and fostering the exchange of goods and ideas. The very rhythm of life in many desert communities has been intertwined with the steady, rhythmic pace of their camel herds. Understanding the camel is, in many ways, understanding a crucial chapter in the story of human adaptation and perseverance in the face of environmental adversity. Their importance extends beyond the practical. They hold a special place in the culture and traditions of desert-dwelling societies. In this exploration, we will delve into the fascinating lives of these desert monarchs. We will uncover the differences between the two main types of camels and the specific environments they call home. We will marvel at the intricate physical adaptations that allow them to thrive where water is a fleeting dream and food is a hard-won prize. We shall also look at their complex social structures, their methods of communication, and the tender care they show their young. The story of the camel is a captivating one, filled with lessons about resilience, adaptation, and the delicate balance of life on Earth. Let us begin this journey into their extraordinary world. When we speak of camels, we are generally referring to one of two principal species, each wonderfully adapted to its own particular domain. The first, and perhaps the more widely recognized, is the dromedary camel. This is the camel of the hot deserts, easily identified by its single, prominent hump. The dromedary, also known as the Arabian camel, is primarily found across the arid landscapes of North Africa, the Middle East, and the Horn of Africa. It has also been introduced to other parts of the world, most notably Australia, where large feral populations now roam the outback. These camels are perfectly suited to scorching daytime temperatures and the relentless sun of these vast sandy expanses. The second distinct species is the Bactrian camel, a creature of the colder, rockier deserts and steppes of Central Asia. Unlike its dromedary cousin, the Bactrian camel proudly sports two humps upon its back. These humps, like those of the dromedary, serve as vital fat reserves. The Bactrian's native range includes harsh environments such as the Gobi Desert, where temperatures can plummet to well below freezing in winter and soar to great heights in summer. Its shaggier coat provides better insulation against these extreme temperature fluctuations, a crucial adaptation for survival in such a demanding climate. There are still wild populations of Bactrian camels, though they are critically endangered, making their conservation a pressing concern. Distinguishing between these two species is straightforward if one looks at their humps, one for the dromedary, two for the Bactrian. However, their adaptations reflect their differing ancestral homes. The dromedary's lighter build and shorter coat are ideal for dissipating heat in places like the Sahara. In contrast, the Bactrian's stockier frame and thicker woolly fur offer protection against the bitter winds and frigid nights of the Asian high-altitude deserts. Both species, however, share the fundamental camel characteristics of incredible hardiness and the ability to survive on sparse resources, making them true masters of their respective challenging environments. While most dromedary camels today are domesticated, having lived alongside humans for thousands of years, the Bactrian camel has a more complex story. Domesticated Bactrians are common throughout Central Asia, serving similar roles to their Arabian counterparts. However, the truly wild Bactrian camel, Camelus ferus, is a separate, critically endangered species, clinging to existence in remote parts of China and Mongolia. These wild Bactrians are genetically distinct from their domesticated cousins and represent an important piece of our planet's biodiversity. Studying both the dromedary and the Bactrian reveals a fascinating story of evolutionary divergence and specialized adaptation to some of Earth's most extreme terrestrial habitats. The habitats that camels call home are among the most formidable on our planet. These are lands of dramatic contrasts, where life must contend with relentless challenges day after day. Deserts, such as the vast Sahara in Africa or the Gobi in Asia, are characterized by their extreme aridity. Rainfall here is a rare and unpredictable event, often amounting to just a few inches or even less in an entire year. This scarcity of water dictates every aspect of life, shaping the plants that grow and the animals that can survive. The camel, through its remarkable adaptations, has not only learned to endure these conditions, but to truly thrive within them. Temperatures in these desert realms can swing wildly. During the day, the sun beats down mercilessly, pushing surface temperatures to scorching highs that would prove lethal for many creatures. Yet, as night falls, the clear desert skies allow heat to radiate away quickly, and temperatures can plummet dramatically, sometimes even approaching freezing point. Camels must be able to cope with these intense daily fluctuations. Their thick fur, which might seem counterintuitive in a hot desert, actually provides vital insulation, protecting them from the sun's intense rays during the day and conserving body heat during the cold desert nights. This dual-purpose coat is a key element of their survival strategy. Beyond the scarcity of water and extreme temperatures, desert landscapes often offer very little in the way of vegetation. The plants that do manage to grow are typically tough, thorny, and widely scattered. Finding enough food to sustain such a large animal requires constant foraging and the ability to digest materials that other herbivores might shun. Camels roam vast distances in search of sustenance, their keen senses guiding them to sparse patches of greenery or dry, hardy bushes. They are not picky eaters, a necessary trait when palatable food sources are few and far between, making the most of every available morsel. The very ground beneath their feet presents its own set of challenges. Fine. Shifting sands can make walking difficult and tiring for animals not adapted to such terrain. Rocky plateaus and sharp stones can injure unprotected hooves. Camels, however, possess broad, leathery footpads that spread their weight, preventing them from sinking into soft sand and providing a sure grip on uneven surfaces. These natural snowshoes of the desert allow them to traverse vast distances with an almost effortless grace, conserving energy as they move through their demanding kingdom. Their ability to navigate these varied and often treacherous surfaces is yet another testament to their perfect adaptation. The camel's body is a veritable showcase of nature's ingenuity, with each feature meticulously designed to overcome the harsh realities of desert life. Consider its eyes, for instance. They are protected by a double row of long, curly eyelashes. These act like a natural sieve, shielding the delicate eyes from windblown sand and the glaring desert sun. Should any sand get past this first line of defense, camels also possess a third transparent eyelid, known as a nictitating membrane. This can sweep across the eye like a windscreen wiper, clearing away debris while still allowing the camel to see, an invaluable asset during sandstorms. Their ears, too, are well protected. They are relatively small and lined with hairs, both on the inside and around the opening. This hairy lining helps to prevent sand and dust from entering the ear canal, safeguarding their hearing in an environment where visibility can often be compromised by swirling particles. Furthermore, camels have the remarkable ability to close their nostrils completely. This adaptation is crucial during sandstorms, preventing the inhalation of fine sand particles that could otherwise damage their lungs. It also serves another vital purpose, helping to conserve precious moisture by reducing water loss through respiration, a critical advantage in an arid land. The camel's famous feet are another marvel of adaptation. Unlike horses or cattle that have hooves, camels possess broad, flat, leathery pads with two large toes. These pads spread out when the camel places its weight on them, creating a wide surface area. This prevents the animal from sinking into soft, shifting desert sands, much like snowshoes help a person walk on deep snow. These unique feet also provide excellent traction on rocky terrain and can withstand the scorching temperatures of the desert floor. The tough, leathery skin protects them from sharp stones and abrasive surfaces, allowing for tireless travel across diverse landscapes. Even the camel's fur plays a critical role in its survival. While it might seem that a thick coat would be a disadvantage in a hot desert, it actually serves as a vital insulator. During the intense heat of the day, the fur reflects solar radiation and helps to keep the camel's body cooler by preventing the external heat from reaching its skin. Conversely, during the cold desert nights, the same coat provides warmth, trapping body heat and protecting the animal from the chill. Some breeds, like the Bactrian camel, grow an exceptionally thick winter coat which they shed in large clumps as the weather warms, a perfect seasonal adjustment. One of the most iconic features of a camel is, of course, its hump or humps, in the case of the Bactrian camel. For a long time, it was commonly believed that these humps were filled with water, acting as a sort of internal canteen. However, this is a popular misconception. The camel's hump is in fact a large reservoir of fat. When food is scarce, the camel's body can metabolize this fat, converting it into both energy and, crucially, metabolic water. A well-fed camel will have a firm, upright hump, while a camel that has gone without adequate food for a long period will have a noticeably smaller, floppier hump, as these fat reserves are depleted. The camel's true secret to surviving without water for extended periods lies in a suite of remarkable physiological adaptations. They can tolerate a much greater degree of dehydration than most other mammals, losing up to 30% or even 40% of their body water, a level that would be fatal for humans and many other animals. When water does become available, a thirsty camel can drink astonishing quantities in a very short time. It has been recorded that a dehydrated camel can consume over 100 liters, or about 25 gallons of water in just a few minutes, rapidly replenishing its depleted reserves. Further contributing to their water conservation abilities are their unique red blood cells. Unlike the circular red blood cells found in most mammals, a camel's red blood cells are oval-shaped. This unusual shape allows the blood to continue flowing relatively easily, even when it thickens due to dehydration. It also means the cells are more resilient and less likely to burst when the camel rehydrates rapidly by drinking large volumes of water. This ensures that oxygen can still be transported efficiently throughout the body, even under conditions of severe water stress, which is, honestly, a critical factor for survival in the desert. Finally, camels are masters at minimizing water loss through their waste products. Their kidneys are exceptionally efficient at concentrating urine, producing a thick, syrupy liquid that contains very little water. Similarly, their feces are extremely dry, with much of the moisture reabsorbed back into the body before excretion. Even the moisture in their breath is conserved to some extent thanks to their ability to cool exhaled air in their nasal passages, causing water vapor to condense and be reabsorbed. Every drop of water is precious, and the camel's body is exquisitely designed to retain as much of it as possible. In the harsh desert environment, finding enough to eat is, well, a constant challenge. Vegetation out here is often sparse, tough, and honestly, not very appetizing to many other herbivores. Yet camels have evolved to thrive on a diet that would leave most creatures hungry. They are herbivores with a remarkable ability to consume a wide variety of desert plants, including those that are thorny, salty, or even bitter. Their diet can consist of coarse grasses, dry leaves, twigs, and even thorny acacia branches that other animals would carefully avoid. This adaptability in their food choices is really key to their survival in landscapes where preferred forage is rarely abundant. The camel's mouth is specially adapted for handling such challenging fare. They possess thick, leathery lips, with the upper lip being distinctly split. This split upper lip is prehensile, meaning it can be used with great dexterity, almost like fingers, to grasp and manipulate food. This allows them to selectively pick leaves from thorny bushes, avoiding the sharp spines. The inside of their mouth is also incredibly tough, lined with papillae. Those are small, hardened projections that protect it from abrasions and punctures as they chew on prickly vegetation. This robust oral anatomy enables them to process food items that would be painful or even impossible for other animals to eat. Their teeth are also well suited to their diet. Camels have strong incisors at the front of their mouths for nipping off tough plant material, and powerful molars at the back for grinding it down. Like other ruminants, such as cattle and sheep, camels chew their cud. This means they initially swallow their food after minimal chewing, and then later, during periods of rest, they regurgitate partially digested food, known as cud, back into their mouths for a more thorough grinding. This process helps to break down the tough cellulose in plant cell walls, making more nutrients available for absorption. The digestive system of a camel is also highly efficient. They have a complex, multi-chambered stomach, similar to other ruminants, which allows for extensive fermentation of plant matter by specialized microbes. This microbial action breaks down even the toughest plant fibers, extracting the maximum amount of nutrients and energy from their often meager meals. This ability to derive sustenance from poor-quality forage, combined with their unique feeding apparatus, makes camels exceptionally well-equipped to make a living in environments where food resources are scarce and challenging to consume. They truly make the most of every opportunity. For thousands of years, camels have played an indispensable role in human societies, especially in the arid and semi-arid regions they inhabit. Their domestication, which is thought to have occurred around 3,000 to 5,000 years ago, marked a real turning point for human life in these challenging environments. The dromedary camel was likely domesticated in Arabia, while the Bactrian found its place alongside humans in Central Asia. This partnership allowed people to not only survive, but also to prosper in areas that were previously almost uninhabitable, really transforming the scope of human movement and trade across vast, waterless tracts of land. Perhaps the most celebrated role of the camel is that of a transport animal, earning it the well-deserved titleship of the desert. Their incredible stamina, ability to carry heavy loads for long distances, and their minimal need for water made them the perfect vehicles for crossing expansive deserts. Caravans of camels became the lifeblood of trans-Saharan trade routes, connecting West Africa with North Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, and facilitating the exchange of gold, salt, slaves, textiles, and ideas. Similarly, Bactrian camels were crucial for the Silk Road, linking east and west across the formidable terrains of Central Asia. Beyond transportation of goods, camels have also been vital for carrying people. Nomadic tribes such as the Bedouin of Arabia and the Tuareg of the Sahara have relied on camels for centuries to move their families and belongings across seasonal grazing lands. The camel's milk is a staple food source in many desert cultures, rich in vitamins and minerals, and often more readily available than water. Camel meat is also consumed, providing valuable protein, and their wool and hair are used to make clothing, tents, and ropes. Even their dried dung can be used as fuel in regions where firewood is scarce, really demonstrating their multifaceted utility. The cultural significance of the camel in these societies is immense. They feature prominently in art, folklore, proverbs, and religious texts. A person's wealth and status might be measured by the number of camels they own. Festivals and races celebrating camels are common, highlighting their esteemed position within the community. This deep bond between humans and camels, forged over millennia of mutual dependence, continues to this day in many parts of the world. Even as modern technology makes inroads, the camel remains a powerful symbol of resilience, endurance, and the traditional way of life in the desert. Camels are inherently social animals, typically living in groups known as herds. The structure of these herds can vary, but a common arrangement, especially for dromedary camels, is a harem. This consists of one dominant adult male, several adult females, and their offspring of various ages. The dominant male is responsible for leading the group, guiding them to grazing areas and water sources, and protecting them from potential threats. He will actively defend his position and his females from rival males, especially during the breeding season, engaging in fierce displays and sometimes physical confrontations. Young males, once they reach maturity, are usually driven out of the main herd by the dominant male. These ousted males may then form bachelor herds, which are groups of unattached males that live and forage together. This social dynamic helps to prevent inbreeding and ensures that only the strongest and fittest males have the primary opportunity to reproduce. Within the larger herds, there is often a subtle hierarchy among the females as well. though it is generally less overtly contested than the male-dominant structure. The bonds within the group are important, providing safety in numbers and shared knowledge of the environment. Communication between camels involves a variety of signals, both vocal and visual. They produce a range of sounds, from soft moans and grumbles to loud bellows and roars, particularly when they're agitated or during mating rituals. These vocalizations can convey different messages, such as alarm, contentment, or aggression. Body language also plays a significant role. The posture of the head and neck, the position of the ears, and even the way a camel swishes its tail can indicate its mood or intentions to other members of the herd. For example, a camel feeling threatened might inflate its dewlaw, a fleshy sac that hangs from its mouth, or adopt an intimidating stance. When faced with danger, camels have several defense mechanisms. Their sheer size can be a deterrent to some predators. If threatened more directly, they are known to spit. This spit is not just saliva, but a rather unpleasant mixture of stomach contents, which they can project with surprising accuracy. They can also deliver powerful kicks with their long, strong legs, capable of inflicting serious injury. While generally placid creatures, especially domesticated ones, they will not hesitate to defend themselves or their young when they feel cornered or perceive a serious threat to their safety or the cohesion of their group. The continuation of the camel lineage in the harsh desert environment is a carefully timed and, honestly, a fascinating process. Camels are seasonal breeders, with mating typically occurring during the cooler winter months when food resources may be just a bit more abundant. During this rutting season, adult male camels, known as bulls, become more aggressive and territorial. They will compete fiercely for access to receptive females, engaging in elaborate displays that can include vocalizing loudly, grinding their teeth, producing copious amounts of saliva, and marking their territory with urine. These displays are designed to intimidate rivals and attract females. Once a female or cow becomes pregnant, she will carry her developing calf for a relatively long gestation period. This period typically lasts around 12 to 14 months, which is a significant investment of time and energy. Usually, a single calf is born. Although twins are not entirely unheard of, they're quite rare. The mother will often seek a secluded spot away from the main herd to give birth. The birthing process itself is usually straightforward, and the newborn calf is remarkably precocious, a vital trait for survival in an environment where mobility can be key to avoiding predators and keeping up with the herd. A newborn camel calf is a charming creature, often covered in a soft, woolly coat. Within just a few hours of birth, it is usually able to stand on its long, somewhat wobbly legs, and shortly thereafter, it can walk and even run. This rapid development is crucial for keeping pace with its mother and the rest of the herd as they move in search of food and water. The calf will begin to suckle milk from its mother almost immediately, and this rich milk provides all the nutrition it needs for the first several months of its life. The bond between mother and calf is very strong. The young camel will stay close to its mother, learning essential survival skills by observing her and other members of the herd. Weaning usually begins gradually after a few months, but the calf may continue to suckle for over a year, sometimes even up to 18 months, while also starting to nibble on soft vegetation. Young camels grow relatively quickly, but they will typically remain with their mothers for several years before reaching full independence and sexual maturity, which occurs at around 3 to 5 years of age. This extended period of maternal care ensures the young camel is well prepared for the challenges of desert life, ready to continue the ancient lineage of these magnificent desert survivors.